we had to
Aaron didn't even tell me about the job when he got the job, and Aaron knew I was in foster care.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, Brittany, you in foster? You can work with me." No.
Fucked up.
And he did Twan story too. He didn't write Twan.
Brittany, just so you know, we're live. Since last time
He
you cussed me.
definitely offered me a job.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Boom,
Whoa,
boom,
whoa, whoa.
boom.
There we go.
Boom,
Happy.
boom, boom, boom.
Do 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 do.
There's one.
Third bad influence.
Shoo up,
There's one.
shoo up,
Already there.
shoo up, shoo up, shoo up.
Sometimes you gotta double check with this fool because he
Dum
fucking out
dum
here.
dum 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 dum.
Go live on his personal page.
Oh, I do that sometimes. I do that sometimes. Dum dum dum. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum.
I breathe
Dum, dum.
freely.
Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum dum
How do you
dum dum.
guys sound like the live version of My Singing Monsters?
What?
Aye. What's up, Woo West? What's up, Freely? What's up, Elwood? What's up, people on YouTube? If you're there, I didn't get to click over there yet. I will in a second, though.
Larry.
We are about to go.
Ah!
That
Nay,
shit
nay.
just sell, bro.
I don't whip anything. I'm too old.
See Willie's comment?
Make sure y'all share and invite
That's
folks.
what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
What's up, Chuck? See, Chuck, you're in here for the first time. You caught it live, Chuck.
I wasn't even going to mention it, but
That's what I'm talking about. Chuck's in here.
I can't change my name back. That's what you get. Stuck ahead.
Oh, his name is IP Freely. I
hear me earlier?
didn't get that. I didn't get it. Why can't he change his name back?
If you change it too many times, Facebook locks it.
Oh shit.
That's just who you are.
Oh, so well, at least we know you P Freely. So never inviting you to my house
Fuck nah.
since
bruh.
you just P Freely. All right, about to play this intro real quick.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, is it not playing? I got no sound.
I can sing it for you.
Oh no. What you do?
I don't know what I did, but we about to get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, then.
Be happy.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Now
Be happy. Yeah, keep the shit on top of the table because it's a convenience thing. Oh, damn, your name's locked for 60 days? That's fucked up. What up, Charles? What's up, Charlie? You doing the drawing? He paid his money.
This is the birthday gift that Mike and I gave me.
Did y'all hear that? I don't know.
Okay, what's up, people? This is Common Conversation 412, and we are live.
Live.
Live?
Live.
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 Not doing it.
Okay. Yeah, so we are live and we are here today. I'm sorry for the intro not being there, but I'm your host, Token.
Now, Mano, M-A-N-N-O.
I'm just Brittany.
Oh, she's just Brittany.
She's just Brittany today. She's so you're never going to go
I
and
had to think of a
But-
name.
B
Something
dot.
cool,
B Dizzle.
right? Beep Brownie. I don't know. I'll think of it
BB.
next time.
That's cool. So what? Oh, what's up, Drew? Yeah. So our topic today is going to be double standards, and when we talk about double standards, we're going to cover. Oh, what's funny? We're going to talk about double standards and amongst genders, race, and
All types of things.
all types of double standards.
Because if you didn't realize, like, there's so many double standards going around the world, just floating around us that we got to deal with every day. Well, meanwhile, everybody's just asking for some type of equality. People want to be treated the same, but you'll have people that don't realize that they're exercising the double standards on the day-to-day basis.
Right.
And it
Right.
fucking annoys me.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so we won't cover that, but I want to first talk about that weak ass loss we suffered yesterday. So,
I didn't even watch the game.
and if you're not a Steeler fan, then we don't care.
I got in the shower and we was winning, got out, we lost.
That's fucked up.
So it might be my fault.
I took my kids to see the Butler County's Christmas lights around
Yeah,
that time, so I missed the whole game. But when I got back on Facebook, when I got service, I was like, damn, we lost.
the drawing is on the 20th. Woo.
2 days.
In 2 days on Wednesday. But yeah, so yes,
So y'all invite some people and share this on your page. We would
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
yeah, we will.
You ain't gotta leave the
We do.
page, so
All you gotta do is hit that share button at the bottom.
goddamn. Yeah, Brittany back.
Brittany back. Yeah, so Brittany's gonna be a regular somewhat till she get tired of us, I guess. But
Hey.
so
Babe, you gotta remember, we're seeing common conversations. Yeah.
yeah, all right. But so when we talk about double standards, right? So the first one, I like, one of the ones that I thought of, and when me and Mano was talking about the topic and stuff like that, the first one I thought of was
The usual.
hair. I thought about the hair. That's instantly what I thought about, like hair, and when
Look at me.
because I mean it pertains to you. You're the only girl here, so when we say hair,
It
like
was just the way Larry swung his head around, but go ahead.
so. When you talk about that, we're talking about white women and black women
Right.
wearing hair that isn't theirs.
So we.
Weave
Weave.
extensions.
We because like when you
Last extensions. This is a wig, guys. All right.
so because when you look at it right, so because like when when you even look on TV and you look at some stand-ups and shit like that, like they always talk about, oh yeah, then she got all this weave, and like they always talk about black women wearing weave,
Right.
and like it's like a bad thing or something like that, but you really don't hear comedians or nobody talk about white women who wear weave extensions because they call it extensions, but it's weave. It's the same thing.
It ain't yours.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. And
weave has a bad undertone. When we hear extensions, it's like, oh, she's wearing extensions, so pretty. Like
Got a little love
most
at
of the time,
it.
like Kim Kardashian, she had I saw a picture of her getting a full sewing.
Oh, shit.
yeah, I mean they
Kylie, her sister, wears wigs all the time, but people are like, oh, her hair is so beautiful. But when a black girl wears a wig, like, are you wearing a wig?
right.
Like, yeah, dog.
Yeah, like you know what I mean.
It's so funny. 9 times out of 10, there's some busted up ass braids underneath that wig.
Look, underneath this wig, I got Steely braids.
You got-
I got Steely, like, did you tell how I was supposed to beat me? Like, braids.
I'm sorry. When I see the wig, my mind literally goes to like.
If I take this off, y'all be like,
Ooh, I'm about to see a whole man.
it's not blurry on our end.
I'm definitely. I'm about to
like,
see.
if I take this off, I'm like, what's your name? Mordecai. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I got to
She gonna look like Meek Mill during the freestyle days. Yeah. You ever see Meek snap?
Nah,
braids, bro?
y'all wild.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but so that's
out with her quickest smile braid.
they're just gonna keep going on their braids like that.
Cause it's funny.
She
like,
said it.
I'm thinking about my braids. Like I really look like the color purple. Oprah,
Yeah, that's
Whoopi Goldberg. Like, go ahead.
She's roasting her fucking self.
She is. She's just gonna keep going hard like
Be
that.
honest.
That's crazy.
But-
I'm sorry, but every time I hear wig or wig, well, I don't. It's the same fucking thing. No matter how you twist it or spin it, it's just one just sounds better. Extensions. And it don't even sound better to me. It's just because it was connected as, oh, it's a positive thing. It's fucking weave. You got to weave in. The only difference is you didn't get that shit glued or sewed. You got the shit burnt to your fucking hair.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, extensions are like melted in, or you get them clipped in.
I don't even make them.
So weave tracks are like extensions, or like you know, I mean, they got the clip-on extensions. They got
extensions
different
are
type.
the same thing as weave tracks.
Yeah, they're the same thing. That's what I'm saying.
Girls who are
So they glue
Caucasian
them into?
get them glued in, sewn in,
Yeah.
braided in,
Clipped in.
It's the same clipped in, and black girls can get the same type of weave setup. It's just when a black girl wears it, it's just they call it weave.
I'm sorry,
and then a
that
white girl,
And they get and it gets so much more
clippings you had.
recognitions and they get
I
a.
had some when I was younger, but that's what.
Was that for length or volume?
I mean, but a lot of white girls wear theirs for
Did
length
it
too.
add a body to your hair?
I mean, I don't need enough body. Look, I told you I got Oprah Winfrey hair. Like, my hair is thick as shit. I don't need volume.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I don't need
That's what's
bio.
up. That's what's
Yeah, so I mean, and that's what happened. Yeah, they all are extensions.
They all weave.
Right.
They all weave because, like, you know what? So, like, I even, but see, what's so crazy is too, like, when you look at it, like,
Why did
not
his first double standard go to weave though?
I mean, it's a good
Because-
it's a good starter. It's a
because
good blueprint.
because you know what happened. I had a personal like experience with that. Like, so one of my
When you
friends.
was wearing weave back in the day?
No, not a personal, like, not like that. Fuck you.
Bro was
But
getting feed-ins before they was popping.
no, but
I
one
wonder about those cornrows you wore to high school.
One of my-
Like, how you get-
one of my
over the
friends
sun
was
hair-
telling me
sun hair
about-
down his back.
one of my friends was telling me about, like, the weave, and I'm like, oh, you know what? You could probably go to one of the black hair stores and probably get exactly what you're getting for cheaper. Like, they were paying for, like, the little bundle things like that, or like something like $200 to $300, and it wasn't as much as, like, you know what I mean? I buy 2D bundles, and that's how much her bundles cost, and I'm like, damn, you spend this much money on this, and then I went to the hair store for her, and I was able to get her, like, 3 bags of the stuff that she used for like $150.
That's a steal.
Like, you know what I mean? It's a still versus she,
That
like, you know what I
ain't
mean?
real.
No, it is.
See,
It ain't Indian bundles you getting, brother.
No.
Good bundles from the hair store.
But from what
she's.
she's used to paying,
But I just feel like for a black female, it goes to if you wear your natural hair is a bad thing. If you wear weave is a bad thing. It's like a lose lose.
If
Yep,
you wear
it is.
braids, it's
It
a
is.
bad
Right,
thing. If
right.
you wear fucking ponytails, it's a bad
And I
thing.
can even say from my
if you straighten your hair, you're trying to conform to.
right, and even from my experience, when I go to the same places where my natural hair, I don't get the same customer service.
It changes up
when I have extensions.
because you look
in.
like a woke.
Right, when I go there, I look like Black Power. I'm a don't talk to me type. I don't know what people think. I think that's what people think when they see me. But when I wear weave or extensions in my hair, I get a totally different experience.
oh yeah,
So
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean,
What was it?
And-
Let me think. When I had my hair cut, people treated me evenly. Like, it was like a base, cool. I got this natural hair. They treat me like a fucking hippie. But when I had my fucking bald head, oh my god, people looked at me like I was fucking a damn criminal.
but you hear. I'm not gonna lie. We do this show, and I can see you every week. You come in, and, like, your
Shut
hair
up. It's
throws me
natural
off.
for like.
Your
It's
hair's
nice.
your hair's throwing me off. But so,
And
all
I
right.
ain't been wearing no hat. It feels good to just. You shut your damn mouth, boy.
So some of our questions today came from
Because I do look like Childish Gambino, you asshole.
from one of Justina's friends or co-workers. They had a couple things that they wanted to some double standards they wanted to talk about. Let me pull them up here. It says, so how come it's okay for men to be hoes but women can't?
well, that is a good. I just feel like
Right?
it's more socially acceptable for a man to be a hoe or hoe-like because I don't, it even starts at a young age. So when like a dad, let's say a man has a son has sex for the first time. Oh, way to go, son! Here's a condom. If their daughter try to go have sex, oh my god, get in the house, buying her a chastity
You
belt.
are not going to grow up to be
She
a
wanna-
whore.
Right. You want to go see the priest, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the whole.
Hey, boy, how was your first time? Did you like it?
That's because a male can't get pregnant, but a female can.
Yeah.
Okay, he has
I
a
mean,
point. That's
not
coming
a good
from
reason-
our
but wait,
our
that's not a good
15-year-old
reason to be a
sidekick.
whore.
Yeah,
But when it comes to sex, you get a
right, but
You right? Because
No, but
a
we're-
man can get a woman pregnant. So it's still the same
but we're not
thing.
we're not talking about the pregnant thing. We're just talking about the double standards when you talk about
But he's
partners.
thinking, though.
Yeah, he
He's
is thinking.
thinking.
Yeah,
He's thinking.
yeah. I
How
mean,
old are
yeah,
you?
15. Just turned 15 today.
All right. You still a virgin?
Happy birthday to Darius. He's not gonna answer that. Why you gonna put him on? He don't want to
Why you put
answer
his
that.
name out there?
I
Nobody
did. 'Cause
know who he
I was
was.
saying happy birthday to him, and then you gonna say you still a
I'm sure
virgin?
his mom knows he's over here, so how we don't.
Yeah. Now what if his mom's watching the show? Really?
Right.
She hired me.
Yeah, but
She
Yeah.
wants to know. Your mom wants to know.
My mom wants to what?
Sexually active.
Oh yeah. Oh no. What's up, Eric? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But so, Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just
that's a
like
double standard. A whore's a whore. I even look at some of the like shit. Most of my male friends that are out there like that, and they take pride in it. But I sit there and look at you like, bro, you're just
There's too much stuff
exposing
going around
yourself.
to
That's
be
what I'm saying.
Yeah, we
You're
are live.
exposing yourself to too much. You're gonna be. I don't want to throw Usher under the
I
brush.
feel like when it comes to a man, I feel like people look at it as, oh, he has a lot of experience to get ready for his wife. You know what I mean? Like, now, dude can lay the pipe because he didn't have 20 partners. But if a female got 20 partners, like, she don't got no walls. They're going to say something like that. She don't got no walls.
Yeah.
It's
Damn, yeah.
destroyed. They're gonna
Yeah.
say, Right.
right,
Now it's dry. Now it's rusty. Like,
Is anybody in there?
right. I mean, yeah, like it's, but
a lot
it's
of times girls have to lie, like, oh, I only got 4 sex partners, just because they don't want to seem like a hoe.
I'm gonna need a glove
right.
for this one.
Yeah, I mean, but there's even some people who might even consider that 4 is a lot to be a girl.
You got 20 partners. You need a big penis. Wait, stop. 30 partners. You're gonna need the foot.
That is
100
gross.
plus. I
Um.
have to go elbow deep.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Eric, it's
So
about
what-
double standards, and we're talking about men and women versus men versus being a hoe versus a woman being a hoe.
At
Yeah.
the moment.
At the moment, yeah. Yeah. So I don't. I don't think it's fair.
It's not
like you know what I
fair.
mean, because just like how I say this, like how come a woman can't like to have sex just as much as a man
I
and
think
don't have to
now
have
it's
this
becoming more
stigma?
socially acceptable
Yeah.
for a woman to just be who she is, as far as even them. I'm talking. Okay, there you go. Even too far as women, like now they're growing their armpit hair. Like women are becoming empowered.
You
in
can
who
have
they are.
armpit hair.
All right,
Just
that's-
don't let it
No,
be
I'm
long
just-
enough for
no,
me to
I'm just
break.
saying- I'm just saying how women they're reclaiming their womanhood. Like we
Definitely.
don't have to live to a standard of a man
I'm sorry.
anymore. Yeah, I
Pause.
mean that's what I'm saying.
Hairy vagina, deal breaker or not?
Deal breaker.
But why you almost poked me
There's
in
your
my eye?
version. Be quiet. He's 15, guys. We're
Yeah.
not gonna talk
It's not a deal breaker.
I wouldn't know.
Was that ever a deal breaker for you? Did you ever get questioned if
Hairy
you had?
man.
No, I didn't.
But I mean,
I mean,
so
it goes for a man. Don't nobody want to jungle down there. Like I don't want to have to find it.
what?
I don't want to have to find it, search for it, call a search party. Like
So you're gonna have to trim it up.
try to get some dogs to come search rescue.
So
like,
Bree said it's her deal breaker.
Hairy man, deal breaker.
I find it very, and you know, and hair
I'm
holds
sorry.
sweat.
Okay, look,
Hair
it could
holds
be
sweat, so
hairy,
that's disgusting.
but it can't. Well, hair's not a deal breaker, but it can't be beady beads. Beady beads.
Yeah.
So you saying that girl got a hot comb? She got a permit?
Like when you tried to get them little twisty little like you about to start dreads.
If it looked like taco meat on a man's chest, deal breaker.
Said I don't like it
Well.
too much. People be shedding crazy.
But they might gotta moisturize and condition.
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna have to treat yourself like. But it's not a deal breaker. You can have some hair. You can be clean shaved. Shit, you can have a trim up. Get you some shapes and designs in there.
Even Stevens.
Exactly. Have a ball fade, taper on the side.
Right, you can. I mean, look,
But yeah,
nah, look, I wouldn't.
it's red pop. Shut up.
People be shedding crazy. Yo,
Yeah, I swear.
That's gross.
it is so gross. It is so gross. I ain't going, but it don't matter because it could be a little bit of hair, a lot of hair. You know what I mean?
Just
Sometimes
have a,
sometimes
a
hair
long-
fall off. Sometimes
the
hair fall
feels
off.
Good.
Just
I can't-
What's up, Mike? Shout out to Mike. Mike's on the
The
show.
best
look-
barber. He cuts my kids' hair.
But he's and well, he don't cut my kids hair, but he's my man's and stuff like that. And we got
It's pretty good.
Mike. We're gonna plug your stuff in towards the end of the show. Yeah.
Wow, Eric. Wow, Lord.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes when you get, especially when you know what I mean, when you get a lot of spit in your mouth and shit like that sometimes, and then you just try to make that swallow, but that hair gets stuck like right there, and then you know what I mean, you doing that shit. Yeah.
I need a banana.
Nah, I could jug some water or some pop or something. You got
shake it
to.
loose.
Everybody's body.
Eric, you are just being honest. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, look, if people don't.
So unexpected here. Eric just cracked me up.
Oh, you try to leave after that? Meanwhile, wait, you got some hair in your teeth. No.
Grab the pot.
Oh yeah, that's from my mustache. Don't worry about.
I chew on my beard.
Real shit. Real
Nah.
shit. So we talk about
That's a 2 and that's a 2B. That ain't the same color here.
So we're talking about So we're talking about double standards. So then another one is and that we talked about a little bit is just like guys and emotions.
Yeah,
Guys and emotions is a double standard because I feel like that's one of the ones that goes both ways because women be wanting a tough dude. But then they be like, oh, yeah, but you never showed me your feelings.
That's funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Like, you know what I mean? And then when a guy show their feelings, oh, they're just pussies or whiners or...
The most I can authorize is strip.
I thought it was funny. That cracks me up. See, I feel like it starts at a young age where moms tell boys to stop being a pussy and stop crying. Mm-hmm. Starts at a very young age.
You're a little boy.
And I feel like sometimes that goes to it goes to.
But
I'm not saying all the time, but it goes to a single parent house where a mom trying to raise a man. She feels like a man shouldn't be able to show emotion or shouldn't cry. You know what I mean? Now when it comes to my kids, I let my kids cry. But I'm like, dude, you got like 5 minutes, and then you're going to suck that shit up and keep it moving. For me,
it depends. It depends on what they're like crying or whining about with my kids. It's just like some stuff that's okay. I could see why you might be upset or might be crying about that.
Oh, okay, Landon straight.
But
that's fine.
Okay, we're on emotions now.
She's not.
I know, but you know what I mean. But I don't even think like even for me like. For me, it's just like there's only but so much you could blame on a single parent household because like it's not like I'm just talking about the women blame because it's just like
I'm just talking about from my experience. A lot of time, I see women now who are raising young boys, and it's like this little boy fell off, skimmed his whole knee. Stop crying, dude. That hurt. If you fall down, skim your knee, you're going to, dude. If I stub my toe, I'm going to cry. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna let my kids cry. They hurt. I mean, but I feel like
don't act. She's tough as.
I just feel like you have to be able to do it for a moment and then move on with life. You can't always be in that whiny, cry stage. So if my kids are hurting, something's really hurting them, let's talk about it. Let's get a good cry out for about 5 to 10 minutes, and after that, let's talk about it again. And let's move on.
And that's the difference because you're willing to actually talk about it. You got women and men that are out here teaching their children to just bottle that shit up, and that's a problem. Like I'll tell you a story. Like literally, I was out front of my girlfriend's house, and I was playing random kids from the neighborhood, actually from the building, playing catch with them. But one little badass kid kept like tackling kids hard as fuck for the ball. So the one boy, he started crying. I'm like, and I talked to him like, yo, chill. All you gotta do is calm down, don't cry. You'll get the ball, try harder. And if he's doing that to you, if you got it in you to do it back, do it back. If you don't worry, come over here. I'm gonna get the ball to you.
I would have got mad at my kids. Like, so you're not gonna hit them back?
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing. But the kid was doing back and forth. Okay. But then when he got hit even harder, he'd cry. I'm like, don't cry. Just get him back better next time.
See, and I'm not even going to lie. So when I first really started into dating,
hold on, because the part that was is that the mom came down, punched him in his chest, and said, "Quit acting like a little bitch." That's where I was like, come on now. Like, he's a little boy. Like, he was young compared to the other. Like, he's like 7. The other little bitch, kid's like 11.
See, and that's how it starts. It's like, that's how men start to become emotionally unavailable when they get older. And I'm not going to lie. So when I first started really dating as an adult, I thought men who are sensitive were like, ugh, I couldn't even take it. I was just so turned off by it. But then I realized my relationships weren't working because I was a person who liked to communicate. But now I'm like, don't communicate, but communicate. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, it was just
I want a man who's
so Janice
successful
said,
but not busy.
Janice said, pussy is such a strong word to talk to children. No parent should ever call their child that.
And in that way, I see that a lot.
Pussies are strong though.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
they take beating, bounce back.
No, but. Shut the fuck up. But I feel like you know what I mean, like pussy and like when people call their kids bitches,
that's over the top.
That's over the top. I'm sorry. You should not be calling your kid a bitch or a pussy, like, and then I think even too, like when you
How about this?
when you do stuff
Communicate
like
with your child.
when you do stuff like that, I think you're teaching your kids, like, you know what I mean, like
That's how
that it's
communication's
okay to
supposed to
call
work.
somebody that if that's what they're doing, even a peer or somebody in school or in all that shit, like, you know
and
what I
that
mean?
starts the verbal abuse, and then when they get older, like Tawan said, they become verbally abusive themselves without even realizing it's verbally abusive because that's how they learn to communicate.
Exactly, and they
You know
think
what I
that's what
mean?
they're supposed to do.
Right.
Just like there's like memes that float around when it'll have a girl that's like, "Oh, why won't you speak to me?" And then in his head, he's like, "I was not taught to do that. Like I
Right.
was taught to bottle this shit up. Whenever I was hurt or feeling some type of emotions,
Right.
I was knocked down, pushed down, and trampled for it. So I became numb to emotions. I'm not heartless by choice. I'm heartless because." That's what I had to become to deal with my emotions because I wasn't dealing with them properly. I wasn't able to talk like that, and there's literally a lot of motherfuckers in life where you never learn to communicate properly. Just like, I mean, I'll honestly say like certain things I don't communicate properly
Right.
because of past situations where it's like I'm trying to unlearn these bad habits.
Right.
Because I was expected to be a man when I was still a child. And that's one thing. Like you're always supposed to teach a man responsibility, but you're not supposed to push manhood on a child. He's supposed to grow into manhood. And there's a difference there. You can teach them and all of that, but when you're expecting a fucking 6-year-old to act like a 16-year-old, like he's just not ready for that yet. He hasn't lived enough life to really be like. And there's exceptions to the rules. There's always exceptions to the rules, but you also got to know where the majority lies, if that makes sense.
Right.
And the majority is usually at a certain age, a child can deal with this much. And you got to open up a line of communication where it's like, oh, it's all right to cry.
Right.
Quit telling these kids to shut up, man up, boss up. But at the same time, like it's a fine line. I'll put it like that. There's a fine line because you don't want to raise a fucking softy that's just overly emotional and that shuts them down. But you also don't want them to be emotionally shut off either.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you want to raise somebody that's able to get the shit out and deal with it and learn to move on from it.
Right. And that's what I'm teaching my boys right now.
And you know what? And that's a good point. Like, you know, because you don't want to do that, and you want your like, you know what I mean? Because like especially when women say there's no good men out there.
There is good men. You just ain't me.
Because most of the men is just like they were talked to like that growing up, and they don't even know how to treat people or treat another woman, or they might actually hold some resentment for their mom calling them bitches and pussies.
True. Now, there's a lot of good men. Unfortunately, a lot of women rush to date, and sometimes women do mature a lot faster. And so you may be ready, but your husband's still in queue. He ain't done developing yet. He's not done finding out who he is. But you're so busy trying to rush into it that you're not even waiting for that perfect man or that good man to come along because you're rushing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I got divorced, I was single for 2 years. You know what I mean? And I rushed into that marriage. I was 19. Like, don't ever get married at 19. But I got married at 19. I rushed into it because I wanted to have a family and I wanted to break that stereotype of being a teenage mom. So I got married and I rushed into it. I got divorced and I waited. I found myself, you know what I mean? And then I met my fiance. And had I met him 2 years prior, I wouldn't have never dated him. Because he had a lot of things he was going through at the same time I was going through things. So had I met him 2 years ago, we wouldn't be where we are today because he wasn't ready.
Right.
And I wasn't ready either. But now that I waited and he waited, he was almost done with school. Around the time I met him, he was a good man. And I'm glad I waited. So
yeah, okay. Well, she made that sound real good for common conversation.
Shout out to Will.
Yeah, shout out to Will. You know what I mean? Will is that dude. No, but like
Willie.
but when you do and so
Big Willie style. So.
Right.
Damn, I forgot the next one I was going to talk about.
Too, shit. I had something deep, but over here with her emotional shit.
You know, okay, so here we go, because we're talking about, you know what I mean, the in a family and all that other stuff too. And we did. This was part of a previous topic, but I feel like we still got to talk about it again. The double standards of women saying what all a man gotta have in order to be in a relationship with them, and men can't have them same type of things.
God, that is
like, you know what I mean?
Like
say for instance, a woman be like, oh no, he gotta have his own car, he gotta have his own house, he gotta be able to pay my bills and his bills, and he gotta make sure he take care of my kids and all this other shit.
Like a princess.
He can't be working at McDonald's.
Whenever I'm ready to go out, he needs to provide that.
Right. And but then now let a dude say, yeah, she need to be able to she only can have one kid. Or
what?
I'm just saying. I'm being a little generous.
No, stop being generous because they don't be generous with you.
No kids. Like, you know what I mean. And she couldn't have smashed one of my fucking homies.
Yeah. Go on, bro.
Or
I feel on that one. Go ahead.
Or even not even smash, but she
her hair got to be natural.
Her hair.
She can't be out here rocking weave, bro.
Yeah, she can't be out there looking. She can't have no ugly days.
And it can't be kinky either. It got to be straight press. How I like it.
And she got to make sure she suck my dick every day.
Like, you know what I mean? Every other day. And she got to give it up when I'm ready. You know why? Because I got to have sex drive.
I feel like a lot of girls want a guy to bring something to the table, but they're not keeping in mind that their table only got 3 legs.
And the one lose. 3 and 1 lose. Like,
lose.
Right.
Yeah, right. I mean? So I find out I have a lot of friends say I want a man to do but I'm like, but you're still catching the bus.
But my thing,
how you want him to have a car? But
you want him to do all that, but you can't do all that.
Right? You don't have it. Right?
You know what that sounds like to me? A leech.
A moocher. Yep.
You just want to. You're not willing to work for what you truly want. If you want all that, society's changed. Equal rights, motherfucker. You can go out and get that.
Right.
So if you're not even willing to try to get that, why do you think a man would even? I mean, there's Captain Savers.
See, and I agree with Carly. Like, you can't expect somebody to do something that you can't even do yourself.
Right. That's what I was about to say. You can't. If you ain't got it, then you shouldn't be asking for somebody else to have it.
Yeah, true.
No, it's like me saying, "Oh yeah, somebody gotta have a college degree, motherfucker." I just got my GED. You know what I mean? The fuck. Like, I mean, but I'm married and shit. But that's on some real shit though.
You're right.
You know what I mean? You can't. So you gotta be smart as hell, motherfucker.
That's legit, and you can't. And then that knocks out the opportunity for somebody to build with you.
Right.
If you just want to jump into the mix, honestly, it's like, be with me from the ground up. Now, if we meet later on, cool or whatnot. But it's like, I feel like there's a stronger bond because you was there through the mud.
Yeah.
Right.
And you wasn't just there.
Right.
Like, that could be cute and lovey-dovey, but I feel like the struggle bond is way stronger than the I'm on top, come join me bond.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personal opinion. But whatever.
Now, I just think a lot of times it has to be, and sometimes I agree with Carla, but sometimes I may have not been given the opportunity to do something. Mm-hmm. Like, for me, I was a teen mom. Then I was married in a bad relationship. And when I was married, you know what I mean? And then I had a lot of stuff going on, so I wasn't able to go to college right away like I wanted to because I didn't really have that support. You know what I mean? Where I wanted to, but when I got with somebody, I wanted you to have a college degree. You know what I mean? Because and it's not, and more so, it didn't have to be a college degree. It could have been a trade. You know what I mean? It could be anything like that. But I didn't want you working at McDonald's. I just wasn't, because I have 4 young black men in my house, and I don't want any black men coming in, thinking $10 making $10 is okay. There's nothing wrong with making $10 if that's what you're making, but you should be saying, I want to be making 12 in 6 months, 14 by the end of the year, 16 by a year.
But so that's what I'm saying. So, but even with that, you still got to get to know the person. Like, you know what I mean? If somebody's coming in to me, if they're working
at, ask you why you're working at McDonald's. Like, what happened in your life or why you're here today? And you're like, oh, well, this is just what I got. I'm just like, well, you just keep it moving.
Yeah,
like, I
mean, right. I mean, but some people that might just be what they got right now. Yeah, but I'm
gonna ask them why. Like, now, if you're just saying because that's just what you got, and you wasn't trying to get nothing else. Like, if you needed a job because you needed a job real bad and you took that, I respect your grind.
But if you're content,
you just got content and you don't want to move forward and that's all you want to do, I'm not okay with that.
But what if somebody want to move forward in McDonald's? So?
Then move forward.
But that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that.
That's what
but at
people want to move forward at McDonald's.
It's one of those, if you're at a standstill when somebody meets you, be understanding that they're not willing to wait on that dream.
I mean,
I'm not
right.
willing to be stagnant with anybody. That's just my thing. I don't want to be stagnant because I feel like you attract what you put out. So if you're stagnant, then I'm gonna start to stink because I'm gonna become stagnant.
Exactly.
And
And then
now,
also,
if you want to move forward at McDonald's, then you tell me what your 5-year goal is, and you tell me how you're going to get there. Don't say I want to be a manager one day, but then you don't do what's expected of a manager. Because if you're a cashier, you should be already working as if you're a manager already.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're just going there, you're late to work, you're just happy flipping a burger.
Janet,
I'm not
please,
good with that.
Janet,
There's
don't,
too many people that, like, you
say
should delegate
some
it.
or the
You should
ones,
be
or the
making a
ones
lead.
that you
Right.
came in contact with. She said, Janet said, guys come in, half step in,
And use
And us-
women to pick up the slack.
and use a woman to pick up the slack.
And but that's certain
I
guys
agree.
do that.
Certain guys,
do
that's why I
that.
said you gotta say some, or
But that's
maybe
why
some
you
of the
need
ones
to
you
take
want
the time and get to know. Like, out of 100 people, there may be one person worth your time.
See, and Larry doesn't have to go through that because he dated for a year. So,
Yeah,
Legit, like,
some of us,
legit, like, you
Right.
rush into it and be
Maybe.
like, damn, that motherfucker done upgraded from what? McDonald's to
Shout out to
Wendy's.
Justine.
Right.
Look,
What
you know what I
the
mean?
fuck?
But look,
Yeah.
see, that's where it comes. Where are you vetting somebody? And I agree with Drew. It's really not where they're at. It's kind of how they're presenting themselves and what they're and how they're moving forward. Like,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't-
And my thing is, if I see somebody that's working at McDonald's and you want to be a manager, but you just got there a year ago, I might not be able to stick around for that ride because it may take you 10 years to do that.
but it don't.
I may
though.
not be able to, but you don't know that.
I mean, yeah, because
But
then,
if-
but you
but-
could because you would ask them their worth ethic, like you know what I mean. Because
Yeah.
honestly, on
Yeah.
just to be honest, if you're at McDonald's, I worked there before. If you're at McDonald's and you're busting your ass, it might take you a year and a half. They even might become a manager, but before they become a manager, they might become a crew trainer because there's a process even with McDonald's, right?
And that's where, as
yeah.
your partner, I have to step in and say, you know what, you are worth so much more than what they're giving you. You know, even at Will, one of his previous jobs, I can't remember where he was working at, and they would not promote him. He busted his ass every goddamn day, got there early, left later, did extra, and they were not trying to promote him. And I said, you know, I understand you want to stay here because you've been here for so long, but you're worth more than that.
Yeah.
You are more valuable than that. And he left his job, and then he got promoted.
What's
You know
up,
what I mean?
DJ?
So it says all, and it comes with your partners too. Like, how are you choosing your partners? How is your partners willing to motivate you?
And that right there
Because
should
you're not-
exercise
now, if you worked at
something.
McDonald's for a year, okay, cool. They're not willing to promote you, so let's go to a different McDonald's.
Right.
And
I mean, but
wait,
see,
let's
but
stop.
it's
Let's
hold on.
throw a quote out there. Know your worth.
Yeah, right.
So what's that? Know your worth.
But some people probably like this is what I say. Some people probably do know their worth, and I just say McDonald's is a reference because I mean, me personally, I feel like McDonald's people get a lot of
I forget his name.
various slack.
D. Slack.
Some
Hand me that, please, sir.
some people at McDonald's they catch a lot of slack because they do work at McDonald's. But like I said, no, I'm good.
I'm a
You
horrible
can
influence.
you can be at McDonald's, like I said. If you're making a process, you're going through the process. You become a crew trainer, and then a shift manager, and then some of the because you can get the career and be the store manager, and then they give you a car and shit like that. You're not used like you know what
And I know
You
we're talking
get-
about McDonald's hypothetically, so it's nothing against McDonald's, but my thing is, are you willing to be there and be stagnant and content at being a cashier or the fry boy?
And
You know
also,
what I mean?
you may
That's
not
my
never
thing.
get there. They may just use you because you're a great employee. And that's where one of my things is where I should have been a supervisor out of McDonald's before, but I bust my ass and picked up everybody else's slack.
Thank
then
you.
it would
Thank you,
damage
Drew.
the store to promote me.
What's up, Ron?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like, there's literally things where you work so hard to get a raise that they
Right.
refuse to
Mistake.
raise you because they got 10 people and 3 of them might come off and you do the work of 3. So if I
Right.
make you a supervisor, I'm fucked.
That's what I said.
And that's shady as hell.
Like even me, like I said, I worked at McDonald's on and off. But let me. This is what I'll tell you. If someone's added to my job right now, I wouldn't. My ass will. I wouldn't even hesitate to go to a fucking McDonald's because I know I'll get
But right
hired.
there, you just proved her point. Because she said she's going to ask you what happened.
Yeah, right.
So you're like, fuck, I mean, my
Right,
job
but-
shut down, I
but-
got
but
fired.
all-
so
but
it's
all
the
I'm
best
saying
thing.
is
And I
some,
respect that.
but some people, there are some people because that's why their franchise is so big, and that's why when you study sociology in college, they talk about McDonaldization. Yes. That's the thing. I was trying to make sure I said the name right. But they talk about that. That's why it's study in sociology and it's study in even big business because, like, you know what I mean? People want to mimic that franchising on how they did things, how it became so popular and stuff like that. If you ask me, like, say for instance, like maybe I might leave my job, but like, you know what, I want to be my own boss. The only way I can think of that's fast and you know your money's going to come is McDonald's. And some people go in there studying, trying to learn everything, so maybe one day they could be their own franchise owner.
See, that's a hustle. And I'm speaking from more of a
That's a
personal
hustle.
experience where I dated someone who like worked in the kitchen, made $10 an hour, and was super okay with that. And I call that nigga mindset, where you're just okay with being okay. And I
you're
hate
not
that.
with progression.
You know what I mean? But I said, well, why don't you apply for the other job because they're hiring? I'm all right. I'm cool. I make $10 an hour. I
Well,
make
who's
more
talking
than-
about, Andrew?
I make more than most
Lucius?
people making $750, and I wasn't okay with that.
But that's the thing where it's like you're comparing yourself to the lesser and not the people that you're looking up to.
Right.
And it's okay not to look up to anybody, but I feel like looking up to somebody gives you some type of drive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gives you
It
like,
does.
and I realized like I explained something to somebody at work a few months back where I told them like I'm not working any overtime because well not a few months back, it was a little bit, it was back a little bit. Where I was like I'm not working any overtime right now because I don't have my mind set on anything until I got my shit back together because I was lost at that moment. But I got my shit back together. Like my drive should just be a drive, and I gotta break that habit of I'm not ready to put in the work until I have a goal. My goal should be to put in the work,
Yeah.
and that way you get ahead by always putting in the work.
Right. That's what I said. Like, and I talked about this before too. Like, even Drew just mentioned it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, shit. When I was at McDonald's, I treated McDonald's like that was my like. You know, I'm going there. You're getting Tawan. You're getting all of Tawan. I'm committed. I don't really like taking days off. I'm near to the job. Like, you know what I mean? I'm doing my work, and I treat.
And that's a great work ethic.
I treated Walgreens the same way. Denny's,
As you
Outback
should.
Steakhouse. You know what I mean? Adagio Health.
Damn.
Fucking.
Say that Outback.
Right.
Even the youth support partner unit. Actually, I think I do a lot more now.
I think
But
you do a lot more at the YSP.
yeah,
than
but
you've probably done in the past. So
yeah, I mean, but you know what I mean. But I do try. So the next question is and I think we touched a little bit about this when we was talking about the parenting type of thing and stuff like that. But and this is when it comes to this double standard is parents the double standard to their children. The double standard of disrespecting people, the disrespect and lying to people, because see, parents.
Oh,
like
you
know
mean
what I mean?
like you'll let your child disrespect
No, or
somebody
you-
else, but when it comes to you, you expect your child to tell the truth and not be disrespectful?
No.
Okay, let's go with that.
No, because there's plenty of parents, and I hate that, where if your child lies to another adult, if your child disrespects another adult, no, there's not any, what the fuck? Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I seen the cursor move and it scared me.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know what I mean, even that, like, you know what I mean, you shouldn't teach, what's up, Leo? You shouldn't teach your kids.
To be disrespectful at all. You should be raising
Disrespectful, right.
polite gentlemen.
Or, I mean, or if you tell them
Gangster
don't be
inside.
disrespectful and stuff like that, but meanwhile, they just see you disrespecting other people. I mean, that's what I'm saying. We could talk about it both either way.
And this is the way I was growing up. So my mom always told me to respect her. Right? That's my mom. But then my mom and my grandma didn't get along.
Right.
So it's kind of like, how you want to tell me to respect you when you don't respect my grandma? That's your mom.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I try my hardest not to be, rude to my mom, but we have
Sometimes you can't help it.
a struggling relationship where we're trying
up,
to grow
Candace?
towards each other.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I teach my kids that they should always be respectful of an adult. That yes ma'am stuff. They say yes ma'am to me. I don't always enforce it when it comes to other adults. Now, when it comes to elderly black folk, I feel like there's always should be a ma'am or a sir. I don't know. This is the way I was raised.
I go with
But,
elderly, period.
Right. No, I'm just saying,
like,
I just
you want to
feel
know what's so funny? I actually say yes, ma'am, and sir to people younger than me.
I think
Just 'cause
sometimes
I don't know you, and it's just like you're
That's
a
where
man, you're a
I don't-
I
woman.
do that.
I mean,
On the phone, I'll do that. If I see a person, I'll be like, "What's up, yo?"
yeah. I'll do that. And DJ, even going just to go because you went back. Yeah, I mean, I think they covered that too. It's just like if you want to do better in your life, you should look up to somebody and
Who's doing better?
or even when you
Surround
want
yourself
to
with positive people that have great work ethic and are driven. Now there's always exceptions to the rule. Some people can't handle that.
Yeah.
But the majority is like you have the tendency to do better because the people around you are doing better. It just gives you a drive to.
See, and that's how it was with me dating. And I'm always gonna keep going back to Will. Me dating Will, I always wanted to start a business. Never did it until I'd start dating Will. But he said one of his comments on here. He said, when you always work for somebody, you may make $10,000, but the company just made 40 off of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So as long as you're working for somebody else, you know what I mean, it's going to be different. You know what I mean? So I definitely respect that. So that's why I always respected Will's hustle, because he was always pushing for more. Like he doesn't want to work for anybody else because he wants to create his own business, his own hours, his own money.
Right. So Drew just said, I hate that disrespect double standard. He said people out here crying, talking about our young black men are dying, but when someone's there in the picture to check these, he said, badass kids, they got a problem with that.
Yeah.
But
I see that a lot.
I mean, you do see that.
Talked about that too.
Yeah, well, we did talk about that, but again, too, like it depends on your form of checking, right?
Yeah,
like you know what I mean? Like
disrespecting someone else's child.
right? Right. Because like how I see it is just like would you do that to your own child? Or would you?
I check everybody's kids. Look, I tell people, don't send your kids to my house. If I can't beat their ass.
Real shit.
Don't send them to my house. If they're bad, I'm going to get at them. You know what I mean? Now, if my kids are
This
bad.
is a room full of young old souls.
If my kids are bad and you're out in the street, don't just beat my kid up. But if you see my kid doing something disrespectful, if you don't grip my kid up and look, by the time you get my kid to the door, you should already beat your butt.
That collar should be stretched out.
By the time you get to my door, my kids should have already been checked. So all I got to do is say,
try to put the link in there, Bree.
Boot, high five, and then drag my kid back into the house. You know what I mean? But I feel like a village should raise a kid, so I don't like that. So when I'm in public, I check people's kids all the time. You know what I mean? I don't care whose kid it is.
If you don't know my child, don't beat my child.
I'm beating yours.
But no, that's the thing. I know you. Like if you don't, random motherfuckers just start putting their hands on my kids. No, but Brittany, I'm like, hey, you better listen to her ass.
Look, I have gripped up some random kids I didn't know. They was outside fighting each other, and I said, I had them both in here, and I had one time this little boy told this old lady, shut the F up. One time, look, I was in my son's school. He went to, I ain't gonna say the school because I ain't gonna shout him out like that. But he told the teacher.
What's it rhyme with?
I ain't gonna go there. Rhymes with Topol. So I had went to my son's school to randomly check in, and this boy told the teacher to shut the F up. When I say I flew across that classroom so fast, that for the rest of the day, that whole class was good for the rest of the day.
Damn.
I don't care if I know you, if I know your kid. I don't like that. I feel like at that point in time, nobody has checked your kid, so I'm gonna check them.
So Drew's example was, he said Woodland Hills got the most kids getting murdered and committing crimes, but they got the principal out of there because he gripped kids up and was checking them. And you know what? It did. Okay, you got to define gripping up. I mean, if it was just gripping up like grabbing them,
his ass against the locker.
Like, you know what I mean? I feel like that's what
you
some
gotta
of
remember
us.
also, like, kids ain't the way we was. These kids is fucking adults in school.
Right.
They're big as fuck.
I mean, and they are, but like that's what I'm saying. Like you sometimes, like you know what?
See that? Sorry, cause y'all back to Drew. See, it's a fine line because are you gripping them up because you think they're criminals because they're black? Because he do the same thing to a white student and he wasn't.
Oh. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know none of that.
Because he ain't throwing no white kids against the locker up in that school. But them black kids, and Tawana, you just went to a conference about that.
Yeah.
By the time a male black child is 6 years older, already being treated as if they're a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even like my son, he was 10 years old and he did something small where he told the teacher leave him alone. Oh, he needs to get suspended because he was disrespectful. He told you to leave him alone.
Because
now, if that was a white child saying that, oh Johnny, why would you say that to me? Like, you know
it wouldn't even be that. They'd shut the fuck up and leave Johnny alone. You know what? Go in the hallway, take a breather. And come back whenever you're ready. You know what I mean? Like you look like you're going through something.
So Drew, Brittany just gave you the full story on that. I guess like so I didn't know it was a white principal, but I do feel like some people.
Even if it was a black principal just outing white kids. Like there's plenty of black principals that will be like they target black kids because in their head the black kids is the problem. Meanwhile,
or they want to be tougher because they want them to do better.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes they do want them to
equal across the board. Want
do
all
better
children
because
to do better.
Right. I mean, yeah, but I think what happens is even if it was a black principal and they seen that's just like, you know what, like some people just want better for their culture, just like you want better for your kids. We want all kids to do better, but your kids, you want them to do the best. Like, you know what I mean? Like you want them to be up there. Like I feel like we do in our culture. We do say we want this. Oh, there's not enough positive males in our kids' lives and stuff like that.
But meanwhile,
like honestly,
there do be a shitload of positive males around. But you'll take something where it's like, oh, he's teaching my child to be soft and not positive. Like not teaching my son. Like no, he's teaching them how to be a man and how to be emotional and how to be open and how to communicate, but you see that as soft,
right? Like, and this is what I'll say too. Even me, like being a dude and stuff like that. And the one time I was outside.
I'm watching.
Yeah, but the one time I was outside and I seen some girls fighting, and this might stir people the wrong way, but I seen some girls fighting outside, and like I said they shouldn't be fighting. I tried to argue.
Watching the fight.
Yeah, like I didn't watch it like that, but like they wasn't having it. I tried to get them to go their own ways. They were best friends and stuff like that. Why y'all gonna fight? Y'all gonna be friends tomorrow and stuff like that. But me, it's just like, you know what? While I'm here, I'd rather see it be safe, and y'all do what y'all do, and then go on y'all way or whatever like that. It's over. Like, you know what I mean? Versus it's being jumped, or now y'all taking it in the middle of the street, somebody's getting hurt, and then, or when somebody said they was there, I tried to break it up because I'm not going there, and then they were girls too, so it was just like, I didn't want to touch nobody's kids and say, go on somewhere, like, you know what I mean? They were in front of my house, and I stood there. Now, I wasn't there with my camera out, recording it, posting on YouTube, saying, oh yeah, look at these little young, dumb black bitches. Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't doing none of that. And at the same time, it's just like, even like, and I would do the same thing if it was guys, because I'd rather you get it out, versus do some dumb shit, run back and go get a gun. Or y'all go down there, and then somebody's getting jumped, or like people ain't paying attention. I mean, they wasn't my kids. I was just trying to make sure it was safe and all that shit. But sometimes some kids gotta let that shit out. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, again too, they were girls, and it was just like, I just don't want to touch people's daughters. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in that way. Like, you know what I mean? Just because not saying I don't want nobody to just say, oh, he did this, he did that. I'm a grown-ass man, and these are teenagers, and they all wearing fucking crop top shirts. Like, you know what I mean? And all that, like, you know what I mean? But
go to fight.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
Registering as a sex offender.
Or, yeah. But then another parent came over. And then once they said they was done, or they was on the ground for a long time, the parent grabbed, and then I grabbed the other one, like, you know what I mean, to help out. Because now you're here, like, there's another adult here. But at first it was only me. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know how some people would take that, but okay, there was a lot of comments. Sorry.
I don't know, man. Break the shit up. That's how I say it. Deal with the shit later. As long as you hopefully have somebody that will come there and support what.
Yeah. You know what, Drew? I'll show you a white kid on the news who's involved in school mass shootings. That's what you that's what you talk about, like, you know what I mean, gang violence, and like, you know what I mean. So there is a difference, like, you know what I mean. Nobody's saying, like, I understand that it's our own culture sometimes, and we can look at it and we can have our own blinders on and stuff like that. Or we want to do harsh
gang violence,
harsh
because
punishment.
We call black kids gang violence, but then we call the white groups. The white kids are in groups.
Yeah, that's a difference, like, because they have their cliques and their gangs also. You just don't address it as such.
It's not even that they don't have gangs. They have gangs. We just don't label it as gangs.
That's
we label it as a group.
Right. Society. They hang out.
Because I can tell you a couple stories about white kids in gangs who came to school and beat up kids and brought stuff to school that shouldn't have been there. But it's just like, as soon as a white kid does something,
he's a troubled individual.
It is labeled as a mental health issue.
Right.
As soon as a black kid does it, it's because
and that's
mad as hell.
And that was that whole. All right, so we'll go into that. That was one of the other ones. How come when a white person commit a crime or a shooting or something like that, it's mental health, and a black person do it, they're just a thug or a gangster, or just a thug or a gangster. Like, you know what I mean? White person is mental health. Like, you know what I mean? But black people, It's not that. We don't see that. And I like to say, like, even on the news, the first thing they say on the news, like, you know, because I watch a lot of this shit on CNN or you hear it on the news. Oh yeah, and they say he had some or he might have mental health or something like that.
They thought
the fuck they thought in there before they even know the story
of separation.
No, it'd be like here's
sympathy.
this white angel Heather. She's a Christian child of an angel of a priest. She killed 16 people. Like what?
Like and then
even that guy that ran into the movie theater and shot up the Batman movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Immediate mental health. The guy who went to the church and shot up the whole church and killed babies
mental health.
In that church took his ass to Burger King and labeled him mental health. Gave him a vest.
But then you have the 40-something-year-old black man. They find he runs and they're chasing him. And they just shoot him because they can't keep up and stop him.
And even there was I was reading a story a couple years back where this black guy had rescued the 3 young white ladies that were being held captive for 10 plus years in his neighbor's house. The first thing they said was his criminal record. Showed his mugshot. And this is a hero to save these 3 girls. And he showed his mugshot and showed his criminal record. And by the way, he saved 3 people's lives. That drives me even to.
And that's my thing is keep that energy equal across the board. If they did that for everybody, I'd be fine. Like, okay, they expose both parts of a person and let you decide how to feel about it. But it's like when it comes to black people or Latino people or people of color, it's like, oh, y'all need to know this though. But when it comes to a white person, they're trying to pull at your heartstring and seek sympathy because these people are supposed to be purest of pure, and this must be like they're an exception to the rule and we need to fix them. But meanwhile, when it comes to black people, that's just what they are. We have the few that act right and act good, and we appreciate them, but the majority are this.
This what I say to you,
that's
Drew.
Sad as hell. Go ahead,
Drew. I know you're talking about what you see firsthand, but like even the gripping up and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? Even our job, right? Like, the job that me and Brittany work at, and even some people that's watching the show, right? We can tell you that just talking to a youth and being in the youth corner and supporting the youth, or that youth saying that you're there, can help a youth change their ways and want better. Not saying all of them, but at the same time, the first action shouldn't be, oh yeah, let me grip them up, or let me show them this toughness and let them know, like, you know what I mean? No, I'm not for that. Like, you know what I mean? You can talk to people or even understand them, especially somebody who you don't know. If you really, like, even going back to that principal, like, you know what I mean? Do you really know that student enough to even grip them up, or like to see if they're out of character, or if they've been doing too much? Like, you know what I mean? You probably just know them as a little, because of their name come on the desk and stuff, but did you really get a chance to talk to them and see why they're acting that way? Because everybody has a story. I feel like everybody, it doesn't matter if you're the toughest of toughest, or you're the baddest of bads, or whatever like that, or the weakest of weaks. Everybody has their story, and everybody's been through something in their life, and you know what I mean? Some people are just waiting for that person to come there and talk to them about it, and maybe help them and give them some guidance in their life, like, you know what I mean? And it's not, again, too, the shit doesn't work for everybody, but you won't know until you try. You can't just go out there first and be like, you know what? Yeah, this person's this, or he's a thug, or and this one is just, no, he just had a bad day. Nah.
And meanwhile, you might be dealing with somebody that you're assuming is a thug, but this is their self-defense because they're not a thug.
See, and Drew, I get where you're coming from, but then there's so much racial disproportionality in the courtrooms. It's crazy because when a young black man gets hemmed up by the law, he could be walking with his brother, but his charges is going to say gang-related violence. Mm-hmm. He was just walking with his brother, but because he was walking with another young black man, they're going to label it as a gang-related violence on his rap sheet. So by the time you see his rap sheet, it's going to say gang-related. But he was just walking with his brother and his cousin. You know what I mean? But by the time he gets up to Schumann, of course he's going to claim a set. You know why? Because he got to survive in Schumann. So by the time I get to Schumann, I'm going to say, oh, I'm running with the Hill, I'm running with Garfield, I'm running with the Bloods, the Crips, because I got to survive. Mind you, only people I hang out with is my brother and my cousin. But when I get up here, I'm gonna claim a set, and I'm going to be hard. I'm gonna go in Schumann. I'm gonna fight.
And I'm gonna be extra because I have to put this persona.
I'm going to survive because ain't nobody gonna pick on me when I get up there.
You got that
right. But the whole time they never even been in a game.
Yeah, and you came into Schumann pretending to be something that you're not. But meanwhile, you are a child of the arts. Just because your comfort is a hoodie and some fucking joggers and the brand new J's, basically the new thug uniform, like because you were comfortable in skinny jeans, doesn't mean you should automatically label somebody. Now I understand if you're wearing the uniform, don't be upset if somebody assumes that you're something, but also you have to address people
you should
on
be
a
upset.
base-to-base.
You should be upset. You should be upset.
I'm saying, but you have to judge. Let me finish. You have to judge each individual on a case-to-case basis. Now, if somebody's sitting there wearing that uniform and your flag goes up, okay, I understand certain people being on the defensive. But everybody deserves an opportunity to prove to you who they are.
They do.
See, I'm not talking about
Literally,
I'm just saying what charges you're going to get from the police.
Yeah.
If you're walking with your brother, even Drew, you right now, if you were to go outside and get arrested and you're walking with Tawana and Larry, they're probably
What's
going to
up,
label
Rachel?
it like
Yeah,
a
what's going on, Rachel?
gang-related charge because you're walking with two other black men. But see, and I really can't see it's always these young black men versus white men because it's the way you were raised and how you grew up in society. Mm-hmm. So you are already treated like a criminal by the time you enter kindergarten.
Right.
Like, and I'm not going to go and get into like too many like personal stories, but I just walked into a preschool yesterday with a freaking metal detector.
No, wow.
In the preschool. This is a pre-K to 5th grade school. There's bars on the window. I feel like I was walking into Lean on Me.
You know what? And you know what?
They're always raised to be. If you keep an animal captive, they're going to start acting crazy, acting like an animal. So if you keep a young black man, brown man, person of color captive from the time they're out of the womb, that's how they're going to survive.
And you know what? There was a hold on. Let me say this. There was a statistic, and even going to this conference that I found out, and which is so crazy. And just so you know, there is a petition on Pittsburgh Public Schools website. So just go there after I tell you this information. Well, not now, not right at this moment. Watch the show, then after you can go in there. But so they looked at the schools records, Pittsburgh Public Schools records, and seeing from K through 2nd grade, black girls were suspended over 750 days last year.
Holy fuck.
750 days, kindergarten through 2nd. And it's not and then but and we're not talking about black boys, we're not talking about white girls, and we're not talking about white boys. But we're just talking about black girls, and then we're not even talking about how black people as a whole race has been suspended in school. But just that right there, this is kindergarten through 2nd, and it just shows the different labels and stuff like that, even the different supports and the different chances that they get. And you know what? Some of these people who's at this conference used to work for the schools. Some of them work for like a lot of these different places. When you look at that, and we really don't know, so it's just like, okay, like you know what? Are we gripping them up for a reason? Do we really know them? Do we really know their story? Like, you know what I mean? Is that kid even that kindergarten or 2nd grader? Are they like what is being worthy of suspension in fucking kindergarten? What is worth suspension in preschool? What is worth suspension even going to elementary school? That's the time you're supposed to be learning. You're supposed to be trying to figure out how things work. That's not a time to be suspended. Even middle school, I would say that's not, because you don't start coming into your own and start deciding what you want to be for real until high school. And that's where this is where your record counts in your school. Like, you know what I mean? Your school
part is that they grant certain individuals the opportunity to grow, and other ones they're pre-labeled.
Yeah, right.
It's just that simple. Like, oh, you had a fit, so I know you're going to be even worse next year, and even worse the year after that.
Right, and
it's
they do that.
You know what? Come on, let's communicate. Let's talk about this. You can't be that bad.
Right.
Like, they approach on racially.
And you know what? But it's not even fight. Like, even elementary school kids fighting is not worth a suspension.
Not in kindergarten.
Might be.
Not in kindergarten, first or second.
But then you got to think about, why are they fighting? What's going on behind the scenes?
Yeah,
like,
maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's like their parents, like
maybe they're getting abused.
Right. And this is coming from the teenage. Like, you know what I mean? You don't know what they're going through before they even came into the school or anything like that.
I had a little boy. I called my cousin. We weren't biologically cousins, but we were cousins. He got held back in kindergarten because of his behavior, because he got suspended so many times that he got held back in kindergarten. But nobody thought, and this is now, I was in 5th grade when he was in kindergarten. Nobody thought to say, wow, Bilbo can't sit down. He's running around acting crazy. He probably had ADHD. But nobody took the time out to say, let's do a mental health evaluation. Let's get him on an IEP. They just immediately suspended him, and he had to repeat kindergarten 2 times.
Damn.
You know what? Because they jumped to
Right,
instead of let's
to the
figure out a way
parents.
to help this child. They jumped to, you know what? He's not being raised properly, and that's why he's acting like this.
It wasn't even that, and then it's that too. But then it goes back to the parents because parents don't even know how to advocate for their children.
But not even saying that, and I you know what, and I'll take the other end on that too, because again, too, this ain't for me. I'm not going into when I said that stuff. I'm not just going to bash the school because we know some schools do try their best, and some teachers are super supportive at school.
Majority of individual people in the schools, personal experience.
Yeah.
Because you'll have individuals in the school, but the school as a whole
Right.
isn't trying to enforce stuff. But you have like a 2 or 3.
But that's what I say. Even but some of our kids have some teachers. I think as parents, sometimes if a teacher gives some recommendations or something like that, or suggests some stuff, they're not trying to put your kid down. I mean, for the most part, or and stuff like that. Because me personally, I don't think any teacher. Most teachers aren't just malicious and just want to just say your kid's dumb or your kid's lacking in this just to
True, but the
be an
thing that pisses
asshole.
me off is when you have a teacher that's treating your child in a specific way and
Right.
trying to work with them, but then let them find out that child's on medication, and they're like, "You need to up the dose.
But
You need
see,
to up the dose." Instead of
and I agree with Devon, and I'm not saying put a kid on medication because I don't believe in medication. I'm saying that now you have a reason of why he's behaving this way. So now you can say, because even for my son, they try to say he had ADHD. Dude, he's in pre-K. He was
Right.
4.
This-
He don't want to sit down. Humans aren't meant to sit down
Right.
for long periods of time. So what I had to do was I had to go to my son's school. I got him on the IEP. You know what I mean? And I said, so when he starts acting out or starts running around, you need to allow him to go in the hallway for 5 minutes. Allow him to get that energy out and return to the classroom. But you're not going to keep sending my baby home because he can't sit down. You're not going to tell me to put my kid on medication, and now he can't even think properly. Like, you're not going to put my baby on medication at 4 years old when his brain's not even done being fully developed. You're not doing
Right.
that to the baby.
You know what? I'm on the fit. Not a 4-year-old. No. I totally agree with that, but I think for me personally, like once you start to get in, like maybe
Grades,
middle school or something like that, maybe it might be okay because you
even
should.
say middle
Even then,
school.
kids can't sit down, and I'm so grateful
No, but
for
I'm
my
not.
son's school right
But
now.
again, too, but it depends on the class parent because, like, you know, what I mean, even studies show even adults we only could be still for 45 minutes max. Like, you know what I mean?
Like
And
15 minutes.
Like, you know what I mean? I know, but I'm just saying.
I've been
But
doing this the whole.
but
fucking
most
show.
of us, but
Right.
all I'm saying is, like, you know what I mean? Some people, DJ, you're right. Some people do. Some parents do that for a check and quick to get their kids labeled for the check. But some aren't, or some don't even want to recognize that. Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, for me, like, you know, like I'll be honest. Like, my son, he's hyper. He has ADHD, probably ADD. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you see my son, like, he go downstairs, I bullshit you not. My son will go downstairs. As soon as he comes down the steps, he'll do like 4 cartwheels. He'll get on the floor on his knees and spin in a circle for like 10 minutes. I bullshit you not. Like, yeah, I mean, not just constantly spinning in a circle for 10 minutes, but like, you know what I mean? He'll just do, and then he might do some cartwheels or run or then play with the dog and then do, but he's not still. Like, as soon as he comes, like, he's never that still. Even in school, like, you know what I mean? When I had to, like, you know what I mean? Like, the one year, I was still buying uniform pants going into June because he was just in school, just, oh no, he's still in school. Oh no, everything's fine. Like, you know what I mean? That's what the teachers is saying, but, like, you know what I mean? I knew there was an issue, and me being a, you know what I mean? And me and Tootie had this as parents, like, you know what I mean? This dispute, like, hey, you know what? I say we should go there and try to see what support is out there for him. Like, you know what I mean? Try to help and see what this is. Because, I mean, me personally, I think it's ADHD or ADD. But I'm not a doctor or as a psychiatrist or psychiatrist, yeah. And I don't know what it is. Like, you know what I mean? So I wanted to do that. And it took a while because he was struggling with that. Now, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, okay, like, you know what I mean, second grade, like, you know what I mean, because now you really need second grade is when they start really, they're introducing you to multiplication, they're into the real math, and, like, you know what I mean, even every grade you're still learning stuff, but it's just like you're learning a lot more stuff, and you might need a little bit more still time, like, you know what I mean, kindergarten and first.
Then are you putting your son, and I'm not saying you, I'm speaking in general, are you putting your son and your children in the best school for them?
Yeah.
I mean, because not all schools teach the same way. So, like, my son, he's in middle school now. You know, they may be able to sit in a beanbag chair or sit at a standing desk.
I do too, Janet.
You know, like a standing desk. So that way they don't always have to be seated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then you like, what can I do best for my child? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so for my son, my oldest son, Frankie, he still has issues moving. So he has to chew, like, like they allow him to chew gum in school because that keeps him distracted from the fact that he don't have to fidget.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's different methods, different ways to do that. You know what I mean? But it's really has to come to how are you advocating for your children? And unfortunately, some parents don't even know that they have rights for their children, or that they can ask for this, or their kids don't have to be put on medication. You know what I mean, to do certain things. But there's so many options. And unfortunately, a lot of parents don't know those options.
Yeah, and also whenever you're approaching it, if the medication is the option, don't go balls to the wall. Slowly progress where it's like so minute that it's barely traceable, and build up until you see the change. Because you have so many people that literally go in, they don't see a change in a week, and they're upping doses, open doses until they zombinize their fucking child. Till their child is literally just in there just going through the rotations because they can't respond.
Right.
Don't just jump to the max. Slowly go up and give them 2 weeks, a week or two to adjust to what's going on, because certain medications affect a child differently. So you may have something over here where 20 milligrams is what just puts them in the fucking grave. Well, not in the grave, but puts them in just like a dead to the world state. But 5 milligrams of this is the perfect amount where they still may be a little active, but
you gotta know
they have more self-control.
Yeah, when
Like,
you even when you get medication, like, when you get medication, it's just like when you're an adult. If they give you a 750 milligram Vicodin or whatever like that, or 7.5, like, you know what I mean? You like, oh shit, that should have me a little too loopy. I might have to adjust this. Like, I just need 3.5 or whatever, like 350. Like, you know what I mean? Even with your child on medication, you should look at that and see how it makes them. Like, Justina just made a comment, like, you know what I mean? Her child has ADHD, and she didn't put her in. She got her daughters on takes medication, but she didn't put it just for the stillness of the seat. But she's seen the medication helped her daughter focus.
Right.
And her school performance came better, and she worked with the school. It's in her daughter's 504 plan, and the school gives her breaks and stuff like that. You got to learn how to accommodate and advocate for your child. Like, you know what I mean? Even with that, like, you know what I mean? That's what I said. Medication isn't always bad, but it's just like, are you giving your child medication for no reason? And then are you over medicating your child?
Are you over medicating them to make life easier for
yourself, right?
Instead of trying to help them work with it, because once they're out the house, they're either going to be strung on the medication,
and that's a double standard too. That is still a double standard.
Without trying to being able to figure out how to work through this. Because there's a lot of people that can wing themselves off of medication where they won't need it because they learn to adjust to it and how to deal with it. And they only may need their medication in worst case scenarios. But there's plenty of people where it's literally like, you make a child feel that they're dependent on that medicine, and if they don't get it, they're bouncing off the fucking walls because they use it as, they don't see it as an excuse, but they're using it as like, I don't have my medicine, so holy shit, I can't control myself.
Right.
Instead of teaching them how to deal with what they're going through. But just like me and her, like, on weekends, she's off of medicine. She does not use her medicine. There's no
mental health. Double standard mental health. Yeah, because see, and this is where it ties in with the double standard, right? Because like we're so quick to even say, even us as people, like, oh, why is it always
Tyrese says his picture?
Why is it always mental health with the white kids and not mental health with the black kids, or even like, you know what I mean, the double, like it's just.
Or how about, why is it shoot first, ask questions later with the black kids, and ask questions and delay shooting by all means with the white kids?
Now that's a good one. I recently saw a video where this white guy had a shotgun pointing at the police, told him to back up and get the F off my property. If that was a black guy,
he would have been shot 182 times.
He's down.
It would have been overkill. Every cop on the scene, there would have been an excess amount of cops on the scene.
Right.
And every cop would have emptied their fucking clip.
Hey,
and it would have been his wallet. It wasn't even a fucking shotgun.
I don't agree with that. I think ADHD is a real thing. I think mental health is real. I think we need to. I'm gonna be honest. We need to look into that. No, we're about to end the show now. But
wait, what's the next question?
That was it.
Now, say, and I don't really believe in ADHD either. I'm gonna be quite honest. I believe children are children, and I feel like people have a lot of energy. Now, if you get older, I feel like as you get older, you get more stressed out because you've been in school since pre-K.
Right.
It's hard for you to focus. You're probably in a job that you don't like, you don't care for. Of course, you're gonna move around. So I'm not saying mental health is not real. I don't feel like children should be labeled with with ADHD until they're outside of elementary school or outside of middle school.
I mean, but even no, you know what? See, I'm sorry, I said it right kind of quick. I feel like you can have that. Like, I mean, you can have that label and it not really affect you. Or you just need as a little bit, like as you said, just to help you become more focused. Because I just know with me, like, you know what I mean, like, and I was told it. I went to Resolve. Mm-hmm. I've been there. And I know my diagnosis. I got anxiety. I got adult ADHD, and I got the signs because I even looked at it, like, you know what I mean, like, you know what I mean, and even when I went, like, you know, what is some of the signs of this?
So like, you know, have the signs of what people told you have? No,
I looked it up. The medical right. Terminology.
The but even is something somebody else created. And you're like, I go on Google right now and say I have a headache, and Google will say I have brain cancer. But it wasn't. But you know what? I got a brain cancer. You know what? It wasn't even that because you know what I.
It's a headache with brain cancer.
Because there's things.
It's labeled, and sometimes if a person give you a label, sometimes you live up to that label.
No, but it wasn't. But it wasn't. But it wasn't. I didn't start thinking about that once I looked at it. I seen that even me, as me being me, like, you know what I mean? I was always hyper, but like I seen even out of a job, right? Even now, like you can tell now, like, you know what I mean? I got the medicine downstairs to show it and prove it, but there was a time on some real shit, like when I was at work. I mean, like, I know I got to do paperwork and push, like, let me do my case notes and contact notes and stuff like that. Yeah. But at the office on some real shit, I physically in my wasn't capable of doing it because I wasn't able to pay attention. I wasn't able, like, and you know me, I'm a very social person, but I wasn't even able, like, if nobody could be there, like, motherfucker, it could be 3 people in the office, and probably 3 people I don't normally talk to, like, who I normally talk to and can talk to for a while. Mm-hmm. I will do it because I couldn't be.
I can't sit in front of a computer for more than 5 minutes.
It wasn't the computer though. It's just like just me and just being this like still person. That's just right. what I tell you is, like, you know what I mean, like. And when I was on the medicine, it didn't have me zombified, but I was more mellow, more focused. Mm-hmm. I was able to sit there a little bit longer.
More sense of self-control.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean. Like when I type of contact now,
not real. I'm just saying that I don't feel like it should be pushed so heavily on children.
Yeah, before you start trying to.
I would agree. Some parents do look. I mean, I think ADHD is overdiagnosed. Mm-hmm. Right. I will give you that. But I think it's where some people still do suffer.
Had I had my son been labeled with ADHD, that would have been his excuse. For them, like, I can't do this because I have ADHD. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I feel like, and I'm not saying that for everybody. I know my son.
But that's all upon. I think that goes back. I think that goes back to what you teach your child, because it's just like, what do they see this as? For me, I don't see as even somebody having ADHD or even somebody suffering with anxiety. I don't see it as a hindrance.
Right. I'm not saying it's just something like, you know. I just know my son. My son would be like, I can't do this because I have ADHD, mom.
No, but who would have told him that? Oh yeah, you can't do it. Like, you know what I mean? If say for instance you take him to the doctor, like, you could just like know he's just struggling in school, he's not still, and you just take him to the doctor and they just, oh yeah, you know what I mean? He has ADHD. Da 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 da.
I feel like sometimes if you get a label, you start believing that so much that that's who you become.
It's not. Guess what?
On behalf of that
Guess
label.
What?
Just like me.
You know what? Hold up. We were as black people, and as a black man,
yeah. I
was labeled as a criminal and a thug before I even hit this world, for real.
Right, and
like, you know what I mean? And guess what? I'm not.
I say,
like, you know what I mean?
You're both of those. What are you talking about?
But that's what I'm saying. So you can't. Me personally, I wouldn't use that.
Both of those. He legit just agreed with me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Did I say right?
You did say right.
I didn't even say right.
I'm not saying for everybody. I'm just saying, but that is a common reason people just.
But yeah, like legit, like what people don't understand. Like me personally, if you actually paid attention to what I do, you would label me ADHD. Because I'm so quick to change conversation. Yeah, I'm so quick to change. But people don't understand. Like, I have moments where I'm extremely focused, but you don't see my coping mechanisms.
Right.
People don't realize that. Sometimes you just gotta give a child or even an adult an opportunity to learn coping mechanisms before or even teaching them coping mechanism before you just shoot down or just shove medicine in them.
And that's where my son, where he has a fidget toy. He has a band around his wrist, so you getting fidget. He can pop himself with a wristband. He chews gum in school.
And this is your 10-year-old.
This is my 10-year-old. Not anymore, because now he trained his body not to have to use those things anymore. But before, I had a rubber band to go around the bottom of his seat. He put his feet inside. He kick it.
Yeah, right.
Kick it.
I mean, sometimes
he had a stress ball. He chewed gum.
But guess
now
what?
At 11 years old, he doesn't need it anymore.
But you know what he still has? That label.
He has
that diagnosis.
He never got diagnosed.
Yeah,
They said I should look into getting him diagnosed for ADHD, and I'm like, he's 3 in preschool.
Yeah, okay. I mean, not that age, but I just feel like if you have it, like again, too, you can utilize them different coping skills and these different tricks and stuff, or life hacks, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And I'll tell
to help them and support them.
For him, because this is what works for me, because I legit believe that I would be diagnosed ADHD. Is he like
anybody?
Is he like most comfortable when he's multitasking? So like if he's studying and kicking his feet, he's focused. That's me and your son have so much in common. Because literally,
that's anybody.
Like, and I can't help it. Like I'll be sitting here. If you notice, I have not stopped moving this whole damn episode.
Like, but we do that. I check contact notes.
Drew's an asshole,
and I couldn't check contact notes when I was a YSP because I couldn't focus long enough than 5 minutes. But now, it might take me 4 hours to check contact notes. Why? Because I gotta get up. I gotta go on Google. I gotta get water. I gotta do this. I feel like anybody in America in the world can be labeled ADHD because nobody wants to sit the hell down. We are humans. We are meant to be fluid. Our body is made up of more water than anything else. We are meant to move.
Yeah, and they don't realize the type of stimulus that we're exposed to on the daily. Most people start their day off with a cup of coffee, a cup of green tea that is highly caffeinated or some shit.
Aaron is on a roll today.
Yeah.
That's Drew. I always call him Little Aaron because one time he had wore this outfit that looked just like an Aaron original.
Swear like he got that shit straight out of Aaron's catalog.
Right.
There's only 3 pictures in that bitch.
Right. Aaron with the Timbs, Aaron with the Tide. I feel like that. 2 looks.
Swear. And his wedding picture.
Right, wedding picture.
But yeah, let people learn coping mechanisms and be able try to offer up coping mechanisms, because just simple shit like you'll see me and I'll be sitting here and I'll be talking, but I'll be twirling my fucking fingers because that multitasking is where I'm comfortable at.
And it helps you to focus.
Exactly, because it's like, okay, now I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about my body because I know my body's doing something.
Right.
So now I can literally just sit in here. Just like I used to be so addicted to video games because there was so much to focus on.
Right. Your hands are moving.
Exactly. Your hands are moving. Yeah, I'm looking here, there, trying to listen because the games I played, you had to listen to know who was wearing around.
I agree with Justina. Google will have you, look, you have an ingrown hair and think you got herpes. You like, Lord Jesus.
You just sat there and rubbed the breast burn on your fucking lip and you over here like, oh, baby, it's gotta be Hep C.
Google will have you give all your stuff away because you're going to die in a week. Like, here's my TV.
This is lip cancer.
No, seriously, that's why I don't go on Google no more. For nothing. Did you just drop juice on your shirt?
No. He probably.
Okay.
I didn't.
You got a hole in your lip.
Okay. I found the reason why everything was messing
up.
Did my
beard?
But hey, guys, you know what? I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This was a long show today.
Sorry.
Hey, but
not sorry.
Hey, thanks for the comments. Thank you, Drew, DJ, Bree, Justina, and everybody here was at the beginning of the show.
And also, if you're looking to keep in contact with us, definitely you can reach us on Facebook at Common Conversation 412. And also, if you're trying to find us on Instagram, you can find us at Common Conversation _412. If you're looking for us on Twitter, Common Convo for Twitter, Common Convo 412. We're also on Skype and YouTube at Common Conversation 412. You can pretty much find us anywhere. If you're interested in suggesting a topic, definitely reach out to us by messaging us on Facebook, because we need some stuff to talk about and you guys got conversations, so come and join into our conversation.
412.
No.
Conversation 412. He was going out.
He needs some milk.
Oh my gosh, he's
They'll be reading like the side effects and shit. This right here.
Pittsburgh, what it do? We in the city of bridges, we in the city of smoke, we in the city of you don't need you to moat. We in the city and haters, so you just might need a coat. Or at least bring your jacket, cause man, the city get cold. Yeah, man, the city is frosty, yeah, man, the city is costly, but yeah, the city is mine. For 1-2 times, well, you know that we grind, cause you know money is time, and you know time is steady ticking, so I gotta get mine. And it's time to come up, so put your hands up. Let's all live this life before death interrupt. Ain't no time for mess up. Man, you better get with it. Arithmetic that I'm spitting, now do the math that you listen. Common conversation. 1-2.
We greatly appreciate you people. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we are out.
Catch you guys next week, next Monday.
We love you.
Mic drop. I don't want to drop the mic.
Don't drop that. We
It's
paid for
really
that.
expensive.
That's, we wouldn't say all that. But.
Sorry, Justina.